Okay. Then let me turn this down. Okay, now that candle is all set, let's go ahead and get into the stories. Before we jump in, I do want to note that I will be adding links to all of these short stories in the description, just in case if you guys want to go read them on your own after this, or if you do fall asleep and you got stuck in the middle of the story and you want to figure out how it ends, it will be linked down below. So I actually have read these stories prior to filming this video, simply because I wanted to make sure that they were good stories. I will be reading the short stories off of an iPad right here, so if I am looking to the side, that is why. So let's go ahead and get started. The first story is called My Paranormal Experience. This is my first post on Reddit, so bear with me. This experience happened when I was about 5 or 6 years old. My little brother and I, 2 years apart, shared a room, and we had just gotten his first big boy bed, which was actually given to us by our grandparents. We didn't have a lot of money. Anyways, me being the older bratty sister I was, I decided I wanted to sleep in the new honestly super short. So this is one, this is another one, and this is another one. So let me go ahead and read the first one. This one's called At Funeral. I arrived at the funeral a few minutes late. Nobody acknowledged me, and I figured out why when I looked into the casket and saw myself. Oh my gosh, guys, when I read that, I was like, so this next story that I will be sharing with you guys, I actually have heard it before, and I'm so glad I found it on Reddit because I had completely forgot about it. But it's one of those stories that's so spooky, so here it goes. It's called On or Under. I began tucking him into bed, and he tells me, "Daddy, check for monsters under my bed." I question whatever it is, thinking maybe it was a relative who had passed, but then it clicked. All the answers made sense. It was a shadow man. After all these years, he had decided to finally talk to me. I asked if it was okay to confirm my suspicions, in which he replied with a strong yes. I began to feel the energy in the room change. Everything got colder and goosebumps ran up my arm. I got this gut-wrenching for dread and horror. It no longer felt like I was alone. I looked up in front of me, and to my horror, there was a shadow man. But closer to me, closer than he's ever gotten to me. If I really wanted to, I could have reached out and touched him. Horrified, I quickly tried moving the planchette to goodbye, only to be met by a strong force pushing him back. I pushed with all my strength, trying to move the planchette to goodbye, but he continuously moved back with forceful pushes that were strong enough to shove the planchette off the board. I was trying not to let it know I was afraid. For one of the first times, this entity that had been following me for the most of my life, that I had become so used to over the years, made me fearful of my life. I was certain at this point I was going to be killed by a ghost, right here, right now, and my grave marker was going to be plastered with, "Here lies blank, cause of death, Ouija board." No, but really, she was scared. I eventually, out of desperation, took my hands off the planchette, picked it up, and slammed it onto goodbye. Now I know what you're thinking. You just made the situation 10 times worse by breaking one of the rules of the board and removing your hands. But at the time, it seemed like the best options as nothing else was working. After hitting goodbye, I blew the candles out and started quickly putting the board away. That's when I felt it, burning on my back and arms. I tried to ignore it as I just wanted to clean up and get the hell out of there, but I just couldn't do it. It burned too much, so I ran to the bathroom and faced myself in the mirror, only to be met with scratches and rows of 3 running up my arms and back. The ones on my arms were actually so bad it drew blood. Unfortunately, that's not the most disturbing thing I saw. I guess I was so obsessed with my obvious scratches that when I finally took a real glance in the mirror, he was there. The shadow man himself was there, standing, staring back at my reflection in the mirror, looking as if he was about to grab me. That's when I booked it. I had finally gotten the bright idea to run out of the basement door, screaming bloody murder, probably looking like a complete wacko in the process. I refused to go back in the house until way after dark when it began to rain and I was forced in. It was only when I showed my parents the scratches and mess downstairs did they somewhat start to believe me, but not completely. To put it into shorts, I was a mess and had to spend the next few weeks with band-aids on my arms. Things got the worst they had ever been in my life. The shadow man remained physical, and over the next few months, I would wake up with bruises and scratches on my body. My dog, which used to sleep in my room, would wake up to bark and growl at what appears to be nothing in the middle of the night. I consistently woke up to feeling like something was on top of me, choking me out. Then sometimes in the morning, there would be marks in the shape of handprints around my neck. It always seemed to be worse when I was alone though. Once I was home alone, I was pushed from the top of my stairs, ending up escaping with painful but minor injuries. My parents believed me somewhat right now, but they still not completely, even after being shown proof. So I'm practically alone in this. I tried cleansing the house and me, but it only seemed to make it mad. I even reached out to a friend maybe